It's also important to know that your name will be displayed in the list of participants as well in the chat window. For topic-related questions for the information that we provide today, you will be able to ask those in the Q&A session. That will be later in the event. So you will probably see many QR codes pop up throughout the slideshow here today. Feel free to scan those and register at Slido and note your questions along the way. All right, next slide, please. So here you can see the QR code, and you also have the code which you can access from. This will also pop up multiple times. Next slide, please, Alpin. Thank you. So today's agenda. First, you will hear a bit more about us, and then we will have an external speaker coming from Enterprise Europe Network to talk to you a bit about how you can find partners for projects. And then we will go straight to the point and inform you a bit about our joint call 2025, which my colleagues and myself here today have been preparing. And then we also want to talk to you a bit about our knowledge community and our impact and exploitation networks, which are central elements to our partnership. We also have core module presentations coming in, and that is the topics which you can apply under. And they are here today to answer any questions and present. So that will be great. We have a navigating submission platform slideshow as well. And then, of course, a general Q&A session and some closing remarks. Now, next slide, please, Alfin. So let's jump straight to it. Let's talk a bit about the CETPartnership. So, as we all know, we need to achieve a climate neutrality by 2050. And to do this, it demands a more urgent and greater coordination, especially in the research and innovation landscape, which we now see is quite fragmented. So CETPartnership, in a way, is an effort to create a joint platform for collaboration across countries, sectors, and disciplines. And we want to address the most essential challenges that we see regarding the clean energy transition. Next slide, please, Alfin. So what is the CETPartnership? It's a quite fundamental question. So what we do is that we, in our essence, in our core, we are a transnational research and innovation partnership which funds projects also on a transnational level. And we support specifically projects who develop and implement clean energy solutions. We're also co-funded by the EU, and we have more than 30 countries involved in our partnerships, so we are quite broad. And we support technological breakthroughs and system integration. Next slide, please. One other essential element to our partnership, and which we will come back to later today, is that we have something called TRIs, which are kind of expert groups connected across Europe who together identify the challenges and topics that applicants can apply funding for, and then again, solve the solutions in that particular field. So they will be here today to present the different core modules later on. And maybe next slide, Alfin, we can showcase some of these categories in a sense that we have established here. So that's one important element. Next slide, please, Alfin. Just some general facts. Just to showcase that we do have a quite large budget. We have over 100 million euros in our annual budget. And we also have a co-funding from the EU. Now, this budget consists of individual budget from over 40 funding organizations. So it's quite large, and it's over 700 million euros from 2022 to 2027. And that's the period, 6-year program period, where we have EU funding included. So we also have around 30 countries involved. That's EU member states, that's associated countries, and global partners from both Asia and North America. Next slide, please. And this is just to kind of showcase the global interest that we've seen in the partnership. And it's not to be mistaken for countries that are participating in this call, even though many of them are. So as you can see here, we have many EU countries and non-EU countries who has been in contact or collaborating with our partnership. Next slide, please. Now, just to illustrate kind of how this works, and also as a leeway to our next speaker here today, this is an example of how a project proposal would look like under our partnership. We will come back to some criterions and so forth later on, but for now, as you can see here on the left hand side, for example, we'll have a Spanish coordinator and maybe a Swedish partner. And then below here, you might see some partners joining who do not have a country in the call at all, and they will participate as self-financed. Because it's important to mention that to be able to apply for funding under us, your funding organization must participate in the joint call of 2025. Now, you can always join nonetheless, but then again, that will be self-financing. It's always a benefit to have multiple partners to carry the weight of the project. And it's also important to mention, as you can see in the line in between these two sections here, that if successful, the project will receive payments from the funding organization directly. So we are a central mechanism in a sense. All right, next slide, please. Now let me introduce Astrid Flandorfen, my apologies, and she will talk to you a bit shortly now as an external speaker about how you can build consortia and find cooperation partners within their services. Astrid, are you with us here today?
I am. Thank you,
Great.
Anna. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Good morning to everybody. I'll explain to you how the Enterprise Europe network can support you in finding the right cooperation partner for your
Sorry, may all audience members please mute themselves throughout the session? Apologize for that, Astrid. Please continue.
I was not sure whether they were addressing me. And in fact, this partner search support is not only for project proposals, but for any type of cooperation that you would like to engage in. Next slide, please. The Enterprise Europe network is the world's largest support network for innovative SMEs that have international ambitions. And we have a portfolio of different support services that we offer to these SMEs free of charge. Next slide, please. On the map depicted in blue, you see the countries that are part of the Enterprise Europe network. So even though the Enterprise Europe network has the Europe in its name, it reaches far beyond. It's almost a worldwide network with about 3,000 experts such as myself. Next slide, please. So this is the portfolio of services that we can provide.
Sorry, may I ask the audience members to please mute themselves?
That's like in the very first days of the corona pandemic. Okay. So we can help you with your innovation and innovation management, with sustainability issues, resilience, digitalization, internationalization, access to funding and finance. Next, please. And what I will talk to you about today is the business partnering. Next, please. We cover all sectors, so no matter where you're working in, you're very welcome to be a client of ours. Next, please. Yes, next. Okay, and now I start on the next few slides to tell you how we as an Enterprise Europe network can support you in detail. Next, please. First of all, you have to find your regional EEN contact point. I have included here the email address, the link for, not the email address, the link for Austria, and below for all contact points. So first, please search for your contact point that is in charge for your needs. Next. Then you get in contact with these persons, and together with your EN advisor, you develop your partner search profile. And the Enterprise Europe Network has a huge database that contains curated technology profiles, and we will then publish your partner search profile on this database. Next. You will then receive expressions of interests from organizations that have seen your partner search profile and who think that they can fulfill what you're asking for. And so these expressions of interest will be forwarded by us to you. So they first come to our mailbox and we check them. We do not want you to receive any spam. Next. In the next step, you have to check the EOIs that you have received, and then you select those with which you would like to get in contact with. Next. And at this point, you tell your EN advisor, and we then establish the contact between the two parties. Next. After that, you discuss the project content with the other organizations without the involvement of the Enterprise Europe Network, although we will only be always be there if you need help. Next. And this is then the potential start of cooperation. You can then submit your project proposal, and that would be it from this side. Next slide, please. You can always do it the other way around. So I told you we have this huge database with profiles. You can also search yourself with keywords, whether you find a suited partner. The link to this database is given here. It's officially available. Next. And if you find some profiles that you are interested in, you simply contact your EEN advisor and submit an expression of interest, which will then be forwarded by your EEN advisor to the other party. And then again, if the other party thinks that your profile or you might fulfill their needs, then they will want to get in contact with you, and the Enterprise Europe Network advisor will again establish this contact. Next, please. And then you can start the cooperation, as I told you before. So this is my last slide. Please get in contact with us. If you're not sure, if you don't remember exactly now how it works, just write me and I can also direct you to your right EN advisor. And good luck with your proposal.
Thank you so much, Astrid, for taking the time today. And unfortunately, Astrid will not be with us in the Q&A, so feel free to note down her email if you have any direct questions, or else we can always forward them through us as well. So thank you, Astrid. Much appreciated. Now, I think I see in the chat that some are also asking about this PowerPoint. We will, of course, provide this through our channels after the event, also with the recording. So fear not, it shall be shared and published. All right, so now I want to give the word to my colleague Maria Enge, who will talk to you a bit more about the opportunities and the procedure in the Joint Call 2025. Hi, Maria, do you hear us?
Yes, I do. Do you hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Perfect. Thank you. I just saw a question about the call in the chat. Please include them in the Slido so that we can take them afterwards. So I will tell you a little bit about generally the call. It consists of call modules which are addressing different technologies and system challenges and different approaches. And the different funding organizations that are participating decide which call modules they will commit funding to. And not all funding organizations participate in all call modules. So you have to have a look, and the participation overview, which is linked here, is on our web page. So please have a look there to see if your organization is joining the call. The funding organization will fund eligible costs directly to the beneficiaries partners of the proposal. And those are then, of course, based in their country region. So there is no overall funding. It's directly between the funding organization and the applicant. Next slide, please. So I will speak a little bit about the general call process. Next. It's a two-stage procedure, meaning a pre-proposal followed by invitation to submit a full proposal to some of the applicants. And there will be eligibility checks according to both transnational, call module, and national or regional requirements in both these stages. As things may change in the full proposal or may be more clear in the full proposal, making different eligibility check assumptions. So there will also be an evaluation, of course, a scientific evaluation of the proposal. That will be made according to the three main evaluation criteria: excellence, impact, and quality of implementation. And it will be done by independent evaluators in a panel. The threshold is 3 for all main evaluation criteria, and a minimum of 10 in total score. And it will be a ranking per call module. And then it will be a selection according to the available funding. So there may be proposals above threshold, but there is no funding for that. But this differs from stage to stage and from call to call. Next slide. So regarding the submission, the consortium or the coordinator is the one starting the proposal, and you must choose one call module per proposal. The coordinator is inviting the other project consortium partners through the submission platform. They will have to accept the invitation and include their information to be part of the proposal. And a PIC number and a NASA code is needed for all organizations in both stages. Next, please. So at the pre-proposal stage, it's more of a light version of the project proposal to get an idea of the proposal. It's a 10 pages per project description. There is mandatory template available on the submission platform when the call opens. And what is included more in the platform is consortium partner organizations data, which is included by each partner, and also team members information. There is also the budget request, both workload and in money. And this is done for both beneficiary partners applying for funding, but also for the self-financed partners. And there are some restrictions about the amount of the total budget, which my colleague will come to later. Next slide. The pre-proposal deadline is 9th of October this year. Sorry. Next slide. So then, if successful in the pre-proposal stage, the coordinator will receive an invitation to submit a full proposal. And that is then a larger, more descriptive proposal, which includes 30 pages of project description, but it may not substantially differ from the pre-proposal, just be more clearer described. And there are some additional sub-criteria included in the evaluation criteria compared to pre-proposal, but all this is included in the mandatory template, which is available on the website from the day of the full proposal opens. And if there is a change in the setup of the consortium, the budget, or anything like this, it must be confirmed by involved project partners and also the relevant funding partners. You can see in 521 of the call text the procedure for changes in between these stages. But that is a later question, of course, for those that are invited to submit a full proposal. And the full proposal deadline is in March, 12th of March. So we are far ahead. So next slide, please. Then my colleague Aiko Helander will describe a little bit about the eligibility checks and the requirements. Are you there, Aiko?
Aiko, do you hear us?
Don't see Aiko. Should I continue?
Yes, I'm here now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yes, could you go back to the slide before? Yes, thank you. And thank you, Maria. So it's I'm Aiko Helander. It's me who has been responsible for the coordinating the work to develop the core text. So if you have problems to understand the general part of the core text, you are very welcome to contact me via core management. While it's best to contact relevant TRIs who have developed the core modules or national regional contact if you have question about the core module parts or national region parts. Even though I core management have reviewed all texts before publishing. So as Maria mentioned, we have 3 levels of the requirements. The first one is transnational requirement. The second is core module requirement. And we have also national regional requirements and guidances. And transnational requirement and overall guidance you can read in chapter 3, core module requirement in chapter 7, and national regional requirement in Annex B. It's very important that you check carefully and with relevant contact if necessary. Next slide, please. All those requirements are structured in this way. All of them have those headlines, so it's easier for you to follow, I hope. So you can find the requirement on proposal submission, project consulting partners, project duration, project budget or funding request, and also research development innovation approaches or technology readiness levels. Next slide, please. Transnational requirements, as you may have understood, so it should be written in English and submitted to the partnership submission platform, which you will hear more about later on. And as my colleague mentioned, or maybe you have understood, the project consortium must consist of a minimum of 3 beneficial partners from minimum of 3 different countries participating in the chosen core module. Next slide, please. Here some more about project consortium partners. The total effort of one project consortium partner can be maximum 60% of the total project effort measured in performances. And also the total effort of project consortium partner from the one country region in the project consortium can be maximum 75% of the total project effort. And project duration should be maximum 36 months. And the project proposal must include a work package called reporting and knowledge community, which you will hear more about later on also. Next slide, please. The next one is core module requirement, which you can read in the chapter 7. So each core module may have a requirement about project consult partners, project budget, and so on. So please check carefully with relevant contact, in this case, TRIs if necessary. So next slide, please. Yes, and the national regional requirement, which can you read in Annex B. Here it's written, it's long special core module requirements, but in this case, we mean the national regional requirements. Also, please check carefully with relevant contact in your country region if necessary. And the planning committee process is ongoing, so some more country region may join later on. Yes, this was all from me, I think.
Thank you so much, Aiko, for elaborating a bit on the different requirements type we have. So that's core module requirements, national or regional requirements, and of course transnational requirements. Now you can always read more about this in the call text, or feel free to ask some questions in the Slido later on. Now, just to bring your attention a bit to the call timeline that we're operating with, Maria did mention it, but now you have a clearer overview. So in the first stage, we see that we opened this submission on the 11th. So that's quite close from now. And we have a deadline on the 9th of October for you to submit your pre-proposal. It's very important that you also adhere to the 2 o'clock point, because we don't allow any applications after that, of course. And then the second stage, if you are invited and successful in your pre-proposal, that will first open on the 9th of January, close on the 12th of March, and then in between mid-June sometime, you will have a final answer if you were successful. And then we expect a project start a bit later on. But this is very far ahead in time, and we will communicate more when this is relevant for those who are relevant too. Now, I want to invite our colleagues from the knowledge community and impact network, which we have also with us today, because CETPartnership is more about just funding projects. So hi, Andreas, welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Andreas Gruser. I'm responsible for the knowledge community, and with me, you will see in a few moments, is my lovely colleague Tanya Suni. She's dealing with impact and exploitation related issues. So I would like to bring attention one more time to the QR code on the screen. Please scan that or follow the link in the chat if you have more questions, as it's easier for us to process that in the end in a structured way. Because if you keep spamming it in this chat, then we might, have a big backlog, and then we cannot, do that in a structured way. Thank you very much. So on the next slide, you will see our contact point. So whenever you need something from knowledge community now or in the future, you have any questions, please reach out to knowledge community at CETPartnership.eu. And with this, I would like to show you on the next slide that in the knowledge community, we as a community, CETPartnership community, we are having an integrated approach to things. What does it mean? Well, you see here 3 elements: monitoring, impact, and knowledge. What does it mean? Well, first and foremost, there is monitoring aspects and reporting aspects to it as you go with your project. Obviously, this is something we want to look into. This is something we want to talk about and learn from you, obviously. But we also have impact exploitation. My colleague Tanya will tell you more about that. And we have also knowledge sharing, generation, and associated processes within there. And all this comes together in this knowledge community. So on the next slide, you will see some of the offerings that we have for you. So we have designed or created a digital collaborative space for CETP in its entirety, also projects that will come in the future, and they're already there. So there you can have your own groups, there you can work on specific things, you can also steer these things. We have a peer-to-peer feedback process put in place, so you can talk to other projects, but we also have centrally organized events that we give a topic, and then you can go into this co-creational process of knowledge creation. And because the topics also keep changing every year, and we also listen a little bit what people need, and we also make some surveys with our projects in the partnership, but also with you maybe in the future. We always also adjust and change every year with specific workshops and topics that we have at hand, be it organized centrally or individually by the TRIs that were mentioned before. Then obviously we want to anticipate the knowledge sharing aspect and the impact generation. This is, I think, a very fundamental thing for any community. And first and foremost, and because we have to say it, we are trying to build a community of trust and respect, because it's something we are organizing with and with you, people who are coming maybe in the future, but also those already in. So we need to make sure that it really works together. On the next slide, you will have a small peek into some of the activities that we have currently on our website. If you look a little bit into these things that I have brought you here, there's a big variety of topics, as I mentioned before, things that might be of interest of you, but maybe might not be of interest of you, but rest assured that most of these things are open to everybody. If you are at any point in time interested in it, you can join and you can explore what we are talking about. Very often these things are open to the public, so just take a look and see what fits your expectations and maybe also your foci. On the next page, we have also different things that we organize that is more collaborative or work-related. And in some of these workshops, we work together on mostly virtual boards. Not most of the meetings are virtual, but some of them are also physical. But nevertheless, a lot of people come together and work in groups on specific topics. Here, for example, we had 2 working group meetings last year on social acceptance and stakeholder engagement. And we learned a lot from the projects that shared their knowledge and their needs also with us. So that was very, very insightful for the projects themselves, but also for the partnership in the program. And on the next slide, before I give to my dear colleague Tanya, what are the benefits that our knowledge community might bring to you? So we think this peer-to-peer feedback that you can receive from others is very valuable. We want to emphasize this collaborative aspect and spirit, because I think that this might just bring you further and help you with your research on many levels. And we also emphasize this interaction among projects because I think this will ultimately also research and development be better. And to do this, obviously, we need co-creational processes, collaborative processes on different topics. And we do organize a big variety of workshops and events that should help with that. You can also, at any point in time, take, for example, a topic and create your own working group even and keep working on that and pulling other people in. So all these things are possible. And also in the call that you might then read when you propose, there's always a specific part that is allocated as resources for the knowledge community. So we want really to support your activities in the knowledge community itself. Yeah, and if you're lucky and you connect to many, then I do believe also there might be ideas and partners for you, even for future calls, because we would like to really emphasize this legacy aspect of being with CETP. And with this, I would like to give the stage to my colleague Tanya Suni.
Thank you very much, Andreas. And exactly as you the knowledge community and impact work really try to help you with your goals. Next slide, please. So the benefits for you in using our impact and exploitation support are achieving your impact goals through, for instance, tailored exploitation strategies and expanding networks via matchmaking events, exactly as Andrea said, to help you look also further down the road to your next goals. Guidance on things like market readiness, ensuring social and societal acceptance for sustainable innovations, and advancing your research maturity to secure that future funding and commercial success if you are looking at commercialization. Next slide, please. We have different types of projects and different types of applications, and there are several different types of impacts that you might be striving for. But typically we can divide them into 2 main categories. The first one we call knowledge valorization. You might be looking at producing good and important new knowledge and looking at taking that information and knowledge to various types of stakeholders, such as academia, policymakers, society, industry, funders. We call this the pentahelix approach. Next slide, please. Another typical exploitation pathway or impact goal you might have is commercialization and getting your innovation from lab to market. That means that you have to understand the whole journey from lab to market, which can be difficult, long, and complicated. And for that, we have support for you as well. Next slide, please. We have a 1-minute video that highlights the main ways we support your impacts.
CET Partnership Impact Support. Welcome to CET Partnership Impact Support, your guide to impactful innovation in clean energy. For an innovation to grow, it needs to increase its maturity. By improving the commercial readiness, sustainability, and social acceptance of your solution, you can pave the way for further funding and investment. We help your project succeed with targeted training in areas like engaging stakeholders, effective exploitation, and preparing for commercialization. Our matchmaking events connect you with the right partners to strengthen your project's impact and reach. The Impact Network is a comprehensive gathering of stakeholders tailored to help your innovations move from lab to market. Our Impact Library is a toolbox of essential methodologies, instructional videos, and best practices to enhance collaboration and success. Join us in driving the clean energy transition. Together, we can create lasting change and build a sustainable future.
Thank you. Next slide, please. So when impact is the goal, you need to write a good exploitation plan. It should focus on not just tech, but real-world use of your knowledge.
Please,
can you please
yourself,
turn off your
everybody,
microphones?
And later
Okay.
on, when we open
Please
for
mute
questions,
yourself.
please turn on your camera when you are speaking.
I believe this is
And
Åge
we will
maybe
make
speaking.
the recording available at the
I think this is Åge speaking, but he is
website.
muted
And we
here on
will-
our
we will
participation list. Maybe some technical. Thank you so much. Continue,
Thank you
Tanya.
so much. Yes. So let's go to slide, I believe it was 45. Sorry for the small technical glitch, but hopefully it gathered everybody's attention. So here, so you need to work on real-world use of your research result, be they commercial or knowledge-based. Is your innovation needed, accepted, and deployable? If you have a strong plan, you have a better proposal. Key elements of an exploitation plan are outlined here. We don't need to go through them. Let's go to the next slide. Our tools mentioned in the video help you succeed in writing a good exploitation plan. We have an exploitation guide with readiness scales in terms of market, commercial and societal readiness. We have the network and library mentioned with stakeholders and methodologies to work with the stakeholders. And we have recorded training webinars on validation, impact, exploitation and commercialization that you can find on the YouTube channel of CETPartnership and in the Impact Library. We have pitching and matchmaking events through which you can build your exploitation team early. Next slide, please. So that much for our support mechanisms. You can find them also on the CETPartnership website under About, under Impact and Exploitation. But now we would like to ask you your potential applications and your application criteria. What do you think at the moment would be your project's main impact goals? For instance, advancing validation, finding partners and investment for demonstration, commercialization, influencing policy, or achieving societal acceptance? And what do you see as your biggest challenges in achieving them? We ask this in to tailor our support to best help you on your way forward. So go ahead and join the Slido question there, and let's see. We have 1 or 2 minutes left to see your first responses, and then we will gather them later on together, and we will analyze them and start working accordingly. Finding partners and investment for demonstration, that is very typical, especially if you're mid to slightly higher level TRL. Advancing validation, very typical. We have a validation network that you can find in the Impact Network actually to try and find partners for validation. Influencing policy, excellent. Finding the right partners, matchmaking events, very typical indeed. Creating social awareness, that's critical if you want to get your innovation to the market. Commercialization. Finding partners, demonstration, that is definitely something we are focusing on. Now 30 more seconds, and then we will move forward with the event. Testing, raising funding, advancing validation, environmental impacts of wind turbines, competent partners, and investment for demonstration. The demonstration phase is clearly something that many of our projects, funded projects and applicants are looking to secure. So we are going to help you with that. Regulatory and clarity and demonstration. Yes, excellent. Thank you very much. Please continue answering. We will collect all your answers. You can even come back to this later. We will now move forward. Thank you very much.